I don't know about where you are, but around here it's trying hard in the mountains to be spring. One day the temperatures climb, grass appears, leaf tips swell, and more of the river is open, flowing water and not ice. And then the wind turns winter cold again, and then the next thing we know, it's snowing, and the morning begins with scraping snow off the sidewalks. What is that all about? We watch the forecast to see if it's going to be cold enough to have to plug in the cars, and then another sunny day hits us, and puddles replace ice patches. Magpies dip and swoop with last year's grasses hanging from their beaks. Spring is trying her best to push the snow up the slopes and chase the skiers away. Dry out the trails for the mountain bikers and hikers, climbers and paddlers. The first bears have started to emerge, hungry. Spring, after a long winter, is such an eagerly anticipated event. It's no wonder there are so many spring-themed poems out there. So I'm curious, do you have a favorite? A spring poem that you love and you return to year after year? I'd love to hear about it. Post in the comments title and poet name. And I mean, I have to confess, I am not immune to the joys of spring myself. And occasionally it's been known that I've picked up my pen and written an ode to spring. Here's one, actually, a poem I wrote to usher in the change of season. Canmore Spring. Canmore being a town in the mountains, trying very hard to find spring, or for have spring to find Canmore. Anyway, here we go. Canmore Spring. Before long, bare, slender branches will dance again, swaying before breezes freshened by snows, tucked into long creases carved into rock walls, stark and bare-faced. Not yet swathed in green, skinny arms poke rigid into the narrow space between seasons. Not quite spring, winter arms weaken their hold, snows push back as seedlings poke their way sunward. At night, puddles freeze. By day, magpies swoop by with last year's dried grass clutched tight. Nests weave into being until one day, eggs, then wide gaping mouths, naked bodies snuggled close at night. River rises, storms envelop high slopes, banks erode, sleeping subsoil energy banked for months seeps into blades of grass rising like a green army awakening, a battalion stretching tall to march across high meadows. Each long day the waters rise higher along the bank before night's moon pokes into branches no longer bare. And there you go, that's a Quatorche. If you would love to play around with some funky forms like Quatorches and a few others that we've invented over in the Writers on Fire community, it'd be a pleasure to have you join us. You can always check out what's going on there by visiting writersonfire.net.